There was a time when Microsoft was not the unquestioned ruler of personal computing. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, the software world was fragmented. Word processors, spreadsheets, and business tools were built by independent companies that competed on features and performance. WordPerfect dominated word processing. Lotus 1, 2, 3 was the backbone of corporate finance. These companies were powerful, respected, and deeply embedded in professional life. Computing itself was different then. Most users interacted through command lines. The experience was technical, structured, and often intimidating. Software companies built their success product by product. No one controlled the entire environment. Then came Windows. When Microsoft Windows matured in the early 1990s, especially with the release of Microsoft Windows 95, computing became visual, intuitive, and accessible. The graphical interface was not just a design improvement. It was a cultural shift. Computers moved from offices into homes, from specialists to everyday users. But the real transformation was not the interface. It was control. Windows was more than an operating system. It was a platform, and platforms change power structures. Microsoft understood something that many of its competitors did not. The company that controls the operating system controls distribution. When Microsoft tightly integrated Microsoft Office with Windows, it created a powerful ecosystem. Word processing, spreadsheets, and presentations were no longer separate battlegrounds. They were part of a unified environment, developers built for Windows first. Businesses standardized on Microsoft formats. Consumers expected compatibility by default. Meanwhile, former giants struggled. WordPerfect was slow to adapt to the graphical world. Lotus underestimated the importance of integration. Their products were strong, but the battlefield had shifted beneath them. The lesson was subtle but decisive. The best standalone product no longer guaranteed dominance. What mattered was ecosystem control. Distribution mattered more than features. Integration mattered more than independence. Within a few years, the balance of power had changed permanently. Microsoft was no longer just another software company. It was the center of the personal computing universe. And this moment would echo through every future technological shift. The iPhone would later redefine mobile computing by controlling both hardware and software. Cloud platforms would reshape enterprise technology by owning infrastructure. Today, AI platforms compete not just on intelligence, but on ecosystem reach. The Windows era marked the beginning of that new logic. It was the moment when computing stopped being a collection of products and became a connected system governed by a central platform. When Windows changed everything, it did not simply introduce a better interface. It redefined how power works in technology. And that turning point continues to shape the digital world we live in today. If you enjoy thoughtful explorations of the moments that reshaped our digital world, consider subscribing to Talking Tech. This is where we examine the turning points that continue to influence the future of technology.